Welcome to La Verdad Duele. What is that? The truth. The truth that hurts. Even though we're not intending to hurt anybody's feelings, we know that we may share information that many people have strong opinions on. This is solely based on the fact that we love sharing information and we love passing down knowledge. And this podcast is all about that. And we hope you can enjoy that. Let's get to it. Puyaka. I'm your host, Tijani Musa, and this is an episode that I'm recording from information that I obtained from my Rotary meeting on September 25th, this past Friday. Our meetings are usually at 7:30 a.m., and if you don't know much about a Rotary, you can contact me. I can definitely provide you information about the Rotary Club and how you can become a part of it. This is information that I didn't want to keep to myself. I heard the information. I thought it relevant information to what is currently happening with COVID-19 and the stress that COVID-19 has brought upon us, brought upon the individuals, brought upon households, and just the whole country is going through, actually the whole world is going through this stress from COVID-19, and the information is too good for me to keep to myself. So I'm going to share with you five keys to pretty much cope with COVID-19. And I hope that you can benefit from this information. And if you like the information, just make sure that you pass the information on to somebody else and share the information so that somebody else can benefit from it. So I have 5 keys or 5 main points that I'm going to talk about on this episode. And again, this is about coping with COVID-19. And I hope you can enjoy the information and you find the information informative and useful in your life. So let's get to this. Key number 1, that the guest in our Rotary Club shared with us these pointers, and I have taken the notes and pretty much summarized them into 5 main points, into 5 main keys. And so I'm going to share with you these keys. I'm going to hand you the keys to success. I'm going to hand you the keys to de-stress. I'm going to hand you the keys to how to cope with COVID-19. So key number 1 is limit the amount of information you consume. What do I mean by that? A lot of you, all day you spend time watching your phones, watching information on social media, from Instagram to Facebook to Twitter. So when it's time to sleep, at least make sure that you limit the amount of information you consume 2 hours prior to sleeping, so that when it's time to sleep, you can focus on sleeping. Your psyche needs a couple of hours to rest. No news past 8 p.m. Depending on your bedtime. For me, my bedtime is normally between 10 p.m., 10:30, 11 o'clock. So no news past 8 p.m. For me, I stay away from my phone 8 p.m. and on, so that when it's time for me to sleep, I can focus on that. Key number 2 is routine. Stick to a regular routine, even at this time. Matter of fact, it's very important that you stick to a routine now, because you are working from home. For those of you that have jobs and you're working from home, it is very, very important that you have a routine, because the opposite of that, not having a routine, is very dangerous. It's dangerous working at home because people tend to not schedule breaks. So having a routine gives you the opportunity to take breaks. So how do I do it in my own life? Every 2 hours, I take about 10 minutes break. I just step outside of the office, get a drink of water and stretch. And sometimes I go outside and just walk around and just get that fresh air. It's very important to do. Take breaks, and having that routine would keep you sane. So make sure that you take breaks every 2 to 3 hours. 10-minute break, stretch, and then come back to work. Because what I have noticed within my own life, I find out that I'm working more than I would if I was in an office. For example, if I'm working in an office, I know that when I get in at 9 o'clock, 5 o'clock, I'm off. Everything that was not done for that day, I leave it at the office. But when you're at home, you tend to overwork. You tend to forget that it's past 5 o'clock. You tend to forget that it's past 6 o'clock. So make sure that you have a routine and stick to that routine, and make sure that you're working for the amount of work that you have for that day and not overworking yourself, because that is dangerous for your own health. Key number 3 is setting goals for the day. So written goals are very, very important. So when you wake up in the morning or the day before, you just write some goals that you're accomplishing for that day. And so when you wake up in the morning, you know exactly what to do. So I'll give you an example. I am currently in grad school, so I set the goals. So when I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is pray. After I pray, I eat my breakfast. After eating my breakfast, I go to study. I study for a little bit, reading a few chapters for my assignments. After completing my assignment, I spend some time with my wife. She is also working from home. And after doing that, hopefully it's lunchtime. I spend more time with my wife by eating lunch and chatting with her. And then I take the trash out. And I also, because when you do this, you're accounting for your own time. You know exactly what you do at what time. So being accountable for your time is also very important. And then part of key number 3 is also working to release some of these keywords that I'm about to mention to you. Number 1 is serotonin. Number 2 is oxytocin. And number 3 is dopamine. How do you produce serotonin? You produce serotonin by exercising your brain. Even 10 minutes makes a difference. Going outside, stretching, walking, taking the dog out and just playing with the dog. For me and my wife, we have cats, so I spend some time with the cat. I stretch while I'm doing that. That's how you release or produce serotonin. And then oxytocin, you get oxytocin by hugging or being intimate with people. So you release that by being intimate with somebody, by either hugs, kissing somebody, squeezing, or just being intimate. You know what I mean? So that's how you release oxytocin. Dopamine. How do you get dopamine? Dopamine is burst of euphoria by laughing. When you laugh, it's good for your own body. It's good for your brain. It's good for your own mental. It's good for your own health. Laughing, you're not paying for it. You can crack yourself up. Sometimes I make jokes just to laugh. I think about things, memories that I have with people, my friends, my wife, memories that I have with my family, and then I just laugh. And sometimes I even just go to my wife, crack some jokes. Even though she don't find them funny, I find them funny. I laugh. She doesn't understand why I'm laughing. I'm laughing because it's important for me. And so that's how you release dopamine, by burst of euphoria. It's laughing. It's very, very, very cheap. Free, you know what I mean? And another way to also experience dopamine is by being grateful for something about someone, expressing gratefulness to somebody. I picked up the phone, I called members of my Rotary Club and just expressed how grateful I am for having met them, how grateful I am for the information that they share with me, the advice that they give me, the words of wisdom. So expressing gratefulness, I picked up the phone, I called my friend and expressed how grateful I am, for having met them and being friends with them. All of that things is free. It's very important. It's free, important, and it's good for your health. And just doing that is also a positive thing that you can do for your own self. And smile often. Smiling is contagious. Pretty much when I go to the store, right? Sometimes I like to act like I'm from the South. I like to greet people on the streets. I like to greet people at the store. When I go to a restaurant, I want to know the server's name and I want to chat with the server, because when I laugh, when I chat with these people, I notice that they smile back, they laugh, and they chat with me. And because I am doing it for the sake of just doing it and bringing happiness to somebody, it's also affecting my own mental. It's also affecting my own health, and it's good for me. And at the same time, I'm also helping somebody laugh and smile, and you could be the reason somebody smiled for the entire day. And so you want to be the reason that somebody smile. Just smile at them and just be positive. And doing these things would help reduce anxiety. How do people get anxiety? People get anxiety by different ways. Some people get anxiety because they want to know about the future, or some people get anxiety because of uncertainty. Some people get anxiety because of fear. Some people get anxiety from different things. And when you are in the state of anxiety, you start sweating. You get into the mode of fight or flight. You fear, you worry about things. You do things that are affecting your own mental. And when you are in that state of anxiety, there is a thing that you can do to help yourself. It's called breathing. You inhale through your nose very slowly and hold for about 10 seconds, and then you exhale through your mouth. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. You just breathe. When you breathe, it helps you de-stress, and this is free. It's something that you don't have to pay for. You just have to exercise it. Protecting your own mental also protects the mental of people around you. So when you are in a state of anxiety, just remember to breathe. Inhale, hold it, exhale, and then you do it again. Inhale, hold it, exhale, and then you do it 3 times. That makes the difference. But when you are doing this, inhale and exhale, make sure that you are sitting down with your chest leveled up. Your back is very straight. And that's when you exercise this inhale and exhale. Key number 4, it's called bilateral sound therapy. So listening to engineering music or nature sound helps you de-stress. So how do you find this type of music? You can just Google it. Bilateral sound therapy. Bilateral sound therapy. And you find that music on YouTube, and you can listen to it when you are in a state of anxiety. You can listen to this music for 2 to 3 minutes a day or something like that. That helps you calm down, it helps you relax, and it helps your muscles flow very normally and frequently, and then you take care of yourself. So listening to this kind of music helps you de-stress. You listen to this music when your eyes are closed and you are reflecting on life. And when you close your eyes, when you listen to this type of music, you can hear the music from one ear to the next. And the next thing you start doing is tracing the sound with your eyes. And that takes you to a space that is so comfortable, so calm, so relaxing. All right? So listening to bilateral sound therapy is the way to go. So if you Google bilateral sound therapy, this is the type of music that you're going to find. You can Google it and then find it on YouTube and just start listening to that type of thing. And that helps you relax and helps you calm down. And key number 5 is making choices. Make a choice today. When you listen to this episode, make a choice. At the end of the pandemic, what kind of person you want to be? Are you trying to be a better person that you are starting this pandemic? Yes, that's the answer. You want to be the best that you can be, whether physically, mentally, emotionally, and weight. You want to be the best person you can be. And how do you get to that level? You get to that level by making the choice today. When you listen to this podcast, you make the choice to be a good person. You make the choice to be a better person. You make the choice to be a better neighbor. You make the choice to be a better friend. You make the choice to be a better brother, sister, uncle, aunt, spouse. You make the choice to be just a regular person on the street. You make the choice to be the best person in this world. And that choice begins today. Because when you decide that today, that you want to be the best you can be at the end of this pandemic, you start to realize the necessary things that you need to do to become the best person you can be at the end of COVID-19. You don't want to be at the end of COVID-19. You start scrambling around on trying to figure out the type of person you want to be. The most powerful thing about all these keys that I just shared with you is that you have the power to do them. You don't have to pay anybody to do this. You don't have to spend too much time in doing this. You have the power to affect your own health. And since you have the power to do so, I encourage you to do so because it's beneficial for you. It's beneficial for the people you care for, and it's beneficial for the people you love and for the people that love you. So let me just go over these keys again. Like I mentioned, these keys were shared to me and our group by one of the guests that we had in our Rotary meeting. Key number 1 is limit the amount of information you consume. Number 2, create a routine. Key number 3 is set goals for the day. Written goals are better goals. So making sure that when you wake up in the morning, you know exactly what to do. We talked about serotonin, oxytocin, dopamine. We talked about anxiety. That is all in key number 3. Key number 4, we talked about the bilateral sound therapy. You can Google that and find more information about it. And key number 5 is making choices to be a better person at the end of COVID-19. So all of these things, like I mentioned already, you have power to control it. You have the power to make a difference. Usually you're making a difference for somebody else. You're making a difference for your community. But this time around, you are making a difference for your own health. So since you have that power, make sure you use it wisely. I hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you like what you hear, you know exactly what to do. Leave us a rating. Share this information with somebody else. Ask questions and we'll try to answer them. Thank you very much. There you have it, everybody. If you're listening to this still, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for listening through and through. Make sure if you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button so you can get this automatically downloaded the next time new episodes come out. We have a lot more experiences and stories to tell, and I cannot wait to share them with you. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. Reviews are always appreciated. Thank you. I appreciate you, and let me know what you think on our Instagram at Verdad Duele Pod. Our team is here to serve you. We look forward to hearing about your successes, and maybe one day we may invite you to the studio to share. We wish you luck. The Verdad Duele family has your back. Thank you so much.